El enfrentamiento de la escuadra de T1 en contra de la escuadra de G2 es uno de los clásicos internacionales más importantes dentro del competitivo de League of Legends. Estos dos equipos se han enfrentado en múltiples ocasiones y en distintas competencias desde el año 2016, y justamente por este motivo se ha desarrollado una rivalidad bastante interesante de ver entre estos dos equipos. En este campeonato mundial de League of Legends del año 2024, T1 y G2 se estarían enfrentando una vez más, ambos equipos en busca de su clasificación a los cuartos de final, y el resultado de este enfrentamiento es probablemente uno de los golpes de realidad más grande para todos aquellos que se la pasan subestimando a la escuadra de T1. Aquí quiero ser muy claro con lo que voy a decir, y es que yo soy fanático de la escuadra de T1, pero no tengo nada en contra de la escuadra de G2. Sin embargo, me parece completamente nefasto ver cómo algunos fanáticos extremistas de G2 se la viven hablando basura de T1 y aseguran que G2 es un equipo ampliamente superior a T1 en la actualidad, cuando eso es algo que no tiene ningún tipo de sentido, y es que me parece surreal que se sigan agarrando de las victorias de G2 de 2019 para decir que son mejores que T1, cuando ya estamos en 2024 y la realidad es que G2 se ha convertido en la perra internacional favorita del equipo de FAKER. Específicamente en este año el equipo de la dinastía le ha ganado 3 veces consecutivas a G2, y aún así siguen diciendo que están por encima de T1. Por Dios. Antes de continuar con este video, te voy a invitar a que te suscribas a este canal, ya que más del 90% de las personas que ven este contenido no están suscritas, y eso me parece completamente ilegal. Ahora sí te voy a invitar a que te quedes conmigo, porque el día de hoy vamos a recapitular los mejores momentos de la paliza que le dio la escuadra de T1 a la escuadra de G2. En la primera partida de esta serie, ambos equipos optaron por composiciones completamente diferentes, en donde la escuadra de G2 jugó con el combo de Nocturne y Orianna para buscar iniciaciones agresivas y contundentes, mientras que la escuadra de T1 buscó jugar con una composición de desenganche y control de masas. Sinceramente, en esta partida parecía que G2 tenía el control de las peleas, porque T1 siempre jugaba muy reservado a la espera del combo de Nocturne y Orianna, pero la realidad es que T1 estaba esperando justamente eso. Estaban esperando a que G2 iniciara para que Zeus con Gragas metiera su definitiva y con esto lograran desenganchar, para después terminar destruyendo al equipo rival. Esto es algo que T1 hizo de forma perfecta en esta primera partida, pero si tuviera que recalcar algo de este juego que es simplemente brutal, es el excelente desempeño de Zeus con Gragas, y es que no tiene sentido que Zeus sea tan exageradamente bueno jugando. Es brutal ver la cantidad de momentos impresionantes que nos dejó el top laner de T1.
A nice ATS lead for yourself, but Zenith played in. Kemi's gonna have to flash away Hans Summer. One more adoration for Hans Summer on his Draven. Draven cashes in. Even though Mickey went down in the level 1, Hans Sama gets paid here. That's quite nice. That's really going to even up this bot.
Towards the top side, Brooklyn Blade wants to try and push a little bit further.
I mean, Zeus has Flash, has the explosive cast. Hans has both his summoners as well, but Hans Summer continues to put axes into the back of Zeus. The cleanse away from Hans, flashes forward. Zeus flashes away, will get the slow with the cast. Hans now in the middle of the minions, doesn't have a ward to place. Zeus can open up, and Zeus finds it. A solo kill for the Gragas. Meanwhile, in the top lane, a hook's going to land onto Ona. Broken Blade looking for the stun. Root goes down as Yike, Mickey, and Broken Blade disengage.
Love that play from Zeus. He lures Hans Sama in, trying to play off of the Draven ego that all
the plates, and you're in position as G2 first. I think T1 have fumbled this a little bit.
G2 will start up the grubs. T1 are looking for a Barney. They're looking for a fight here. Mickey looking for that hook. Ona stepping forward, eats an axe. Caps and Mickey standing around the side. Caps low mana. They go into carrier. Paranoia. There's the shockwave as well. Meanwhile, in the bottom, Broken Blade's going to look to try and keep Zeus around. One already over as Yike kills off carrier. Ona's killed Caps though. And now Yike has to run from Faker and Gumayushi. Ona so low in the pit. He gets two. Hansama will answer with one. Cleanses away, but he's not going to be able to get too much more here. He can get a second. Gumayushi able to win out the fight in the end. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, much ado about nothing.
Oh man, it seems like Carrier is getting blown up so far. The initiation onto him gets him so low that then Yike is able to ult into the backline, take out him, and they did get one of the grubs.
Grubs helping them out quite a lot in taking these towers quickly.
And the price, of course, that they are going to pay is not only the push on the opposite side, but the Dragon number 2 here for T1, which Owner is able to clean up. Faker does not have teleport.
Already used. Zeus caught out with a counter-strike though, and Zeus is met with the whirling death. The curtains open. Hansama so low, but Broken Blade can tank that up well enough as G2 managed to escape with a kill. Caps is looking for a little bit more though. Gumayushi has the flash, has the barrier, and I think G2 realized they can't really dive this.
Yeah, but look at the bot side. Faker's completely pushing in. Gumayushi's still looking for more. Broken Blade gonna have to place a ward so we can hop on out of there. There it is, but as they went for that engage, Mickey hooked on towards Zeus right as the cast came through, so I think it ended up a little bit more wonky than expected, but T1 are picking up so much on the map.
Yeah, I think the calls from T1 in response to that commitment from G2 were very few off of this bottom quadrant of the map.
I saw this not work out for DK yesterday. We'll see if T1 have a better affair as there's to suppress immediately. They lock them in. The shockwave coming out as well as Broken Blade tries to survive. The tower will dive, but Caps is low. Faker diving forward with the paranoia on him, and Mickey's going to be the first to pull. G2 all hail the retreat, trying to get the hell out of here because T1 are hungry for blood. Faker will find another as T1 find two in the bot lane die.
T1 read G2 perfectly. Faker had already moved in towards this bottom side, and the second Broken Blade leap striked in, Zeus was like, you're all mine. The cask into the blowback and immediately kill him afterwards. Great stuff by T1.
This Zeus Gragas to work with now, and if Yike can get one more level, you actually get a nice range boost on your ultimate, but
Solar Flare. Yike puts up the shroud. In goes the stinger, and down onto the backline goes Yike. Looking at that paranoia. Mickey knocked in as well. Gumayushi has to flash away. The whirling death coming out from Hansama. And Faker's on the flank. Carrier chased out by Broken Blade. There'll be one. Faker trying to get onto Hansama as well. Lands the charm. Owner's there to help. The cleanse from Hans is not enough. And now it's a 3v4. T1 advancing again. Gumayushi was able to escape. Faker has another Spirit Rush. The charm goes wide. Yike and Caps alongside Broken Blade able to keep on to their lives right now. Zeus, though, can look for more. Broken Blade stepping forward into the darkness. Rift Tower pushed in the mid lane. That's going to take the tower, and it's only a Chem Drake. The T1 really care too much about it. G2 realize they can't fight around it anymore, and they'll back towards the bot lane.
The cask again from Zeus, splitting up that fight perfectly in favor of T1. It looked a little dicey for Gumayushi as they had to...
There's 2 series, 2 wins to the LCK number 4 seed, and currently they are looking to make it 1-0 in this third.
especially because, you know, Dagda is mentioning Faker's build, and Faker's build not only is it very burst heavy, but it's also very far ahead. Oh, never mind.
Into the shockwave, they look for Gumayushi. He doesn't have the flash, and they will find him. Another hook's going to land onto Ona as the chase continues. Zeus coming in with the explosive cast, though, and G2 have to be careful because TP coming in from Faker. Mickey dodges away from the explosive cast, pulls carrier in. The charm goes white on Summer. Still cleanses just in case. T1 lose one. It's only Guma down. Mickey answered in response.
Oh, Kobe, I was meant to say you're a genius. They get the overload on mid, but T1, they respond so well. For Caps means he's quite dangerous when it comes to that Nocturne Orianna combo.
Solar Flare onto Caps. Faker going in with the charm, only hits onto Mickey. Cut and Call coming out as well. There's the Impale, and Mickey's just dragged in a double counter strike into the shockwave though, and Faker is down. Explosive cast will separate Caps and Han Summer from the fight. Zeus on that front line, 3 items strong, and he's trying to use them to their full effect. Ona down to about half HP. Zeus low as well. Han Summer trying to open up on Gumayushi, who still has the flash. In the end, a support for mid lane trade.
What a pick from T1 on towards Mickey. The fact he managed to get him out of the fight means there's very little setup. Doesn't even get to use the ultimate to try and set up, and T1 then get to continue marching forward. It is one back on towards Faker, and G2 feeling they have the damage to fight this.
G2 with no ultimates. Broken Blade dashing in here, jumping across that wall. Ona they're trying to smite the Drake, would be soul for them. Counter-strike from Broken Blade. Here comes Zeus. Flash, Zenith Blade. They look for the engage onto Han Summer, who has to flash away himself. Caps is down to half HP. Broken Blade jumps across the pit. And now Mickey's here to bolster the defenses. Faker on his way back doesn't have the teleport. The Drake secured Chem Soul. Now for T1, G2 begin to back away from the fight. Realize they don't really want any more of this action. Yike slowed up, though. A hook goes down only onto Ona. Caps not back. Zeus finds him, and now Yike's running for the hills, locked up with a captive audience. Yike down 2. It's a Baron on the cards for T1.
G2 took the most dangerous route out of that fight, and T1 were happy to collapse. They're going to be able to move over towards the Baron. I don't think he can go for this as a contest here for G2. Mickey, yes, has the ultimate available, but it's 5 members of T1, and Faker is fishing for the charm.
Hans has the Whirling Death, maybe looking for a steal across the wall. Faker back. There's a little bit of vision here for G2. That wall just outside of the pit, giving them a sense of what's going on inside it. Broken Blade looking for the flank. No flash on him, but does have that Grandmaster's Might. Mickey looking for the engage, but realizes pretty sharpish that he can't go for it. Still charmed up. Spear rush forward by Faker. There's the curtain calls as well, and it's curtains for Mickey. Carrier takes him. And T1 take the Baron. They are in firm control of the game as Hans Summers overstepped 2. Hans Summers down 2. T1 6k ahead, a soul, a Baron, and maybe more of his Broken Blade's charmed. And T1 continue to collapse. The jump away from Broken Blade will keep them safe for a moment, but T1 are knocking on the door.
Yep.
Very small window there to engage. They did have a little bit of vision. A TP coming in. Zeus will be the one on the front line, Faker will be the one on the back, but Zeus immediately locked up. You can see how much damage he can tank. Faker going in with the charm, it goes wide. Zeus almost falls to the whirling, he's alive, and he still has the locket. Faker dodges away from the hook, Zeus going back in, and there's your contribution. Mickey falls, the shockwave from Caps. All it can do is buy him a second to wait. The flash charm from Faker. It's all done, it's all over. But the Nexus falling, T1 are gonna go 1-0 up.
Zeus can do no wrong. TP's in to what should have been his death, but instead it's T1 killing G2 and taking game number 1.
T1 may have limped through summer, but this is Worlds, and they are here to stay.
Broken Blade and Yike trying to do anything, but they still have the Impale, the suppression afterwards with the Edge of Ishtar, the chase onto Yike, the explosive cask, and as you say, Zeus godly with his placements today. The Nexus towers fall, and T1 will go 1 game away from Paris and quarterfinals. Mickey gets a kill.
Nexus Fur.
En la segunda partida de esta serie tuvimos prácticamente la misma composición por parte de la escuadra de G2, una vez más con el combo de Orianna y Nocturne, pero en esta ocasión T1 buscaría una respuesta mucho más agresiva. T1 jugaría con Jax y Vi para buscar la confrontación directa en contra de G2. Esta partida estuvo bastante dominada por parte de la escuadra de T1, desde juego temprano hasta juego medio, pero justamente en juego medio hubo una pelea por equipos en el carril central que terminó ganando la escuadra de G2 y con esto se pusieron bastante por delante. En este punto de la partida las cosas se veían muy complicadas para T1 y es que no podían responder en contra de G2 y pasaron muchísimas cosas, pero me gustaría que lo vean con sus propios ojos, ya que principalmente tengo que decir que Oner es un jugador increíble y todo aquel que constantemente se la vive diciendo que ay, Oner no se merece estar en T1 simplemente no sabe de lo que habla. La base y el motivo por el cual T1 pudo remontar este segundo mapa es justamente por los esfuerzos sobrehumanos que termina haciendo Oner para conseguir la maldita victoria.
You put everyone on pause. Wait, when you said that, everyone's like...
Oh, Mickey looking for the hook here. So Yike can come in with the paranoia. There's the depth charge as well. The chase forward. Kerry has joined his mid laner. Faker flashes away. The ignite ticking on him won't be enough. There's the stun into the shield of the Wraith. They break into the solar fire into the death of Yike. Rob, your no was heard around Europe. They were so close, but they just couldn't quite find the damage to kill off Faker.
Oh, I'm heartbroken. We were so close. Mickey, though.
Another Zenith Blade. Ona has cease and desist here, but I don't think she might just be coming off cooldown. Decides against going for it.
Fusion toggle by the observers.
And then the engage comes through from Mickey, and it's a nice setup. Carry here to try and help, but oh, bot side.
Oh, Zeus flashes away. He's hit with a house. And Caps and Broken Blade find a kill. Carrier's looking to collapse here as well as Gumayushi, but this tower is already quite low, down to One plate remaining on it. Carrier going in with the Zenith Blade. Gumayushi there with the Deadly Flourish as well. Broken Blade still pretty tanky though. Yikes here to join the fray. Has the Paranoia. Can't go into Guma, but there's a flash and a barrier on that AD carry, making it a little bit more suspect to go for the dive. Mickey and Hansa are starting to collapse, and this will be first tower over to G2.
Faker even dropped off that top tower, trying to move down to see if he can cover the mid lane.
So brought to you by MasterCard, very much in favor of Owner. No big surprises there. Broken Blade trying to hide in the top lane. He's going to TP away. Will he escape? You can see it on the minimap. The Counter-Strike finds him alongside the cease and desist, and Broken Blade doesn't have a hope in hell of escaping this one. Zeus leaps on his base and takes another 4-1 now to T1.
It's interesting that they have such a bounty on Broken Blade's head, it feels like. Not in a literal sense, but they've got a target on his back. T1 keep on going for these assassination attempts onto Broken Blade. It's almost like when they gave up the 6 grubs, they were saying, you are not going to have a split pusher that can use these. We're going to make sure of it, because while we did give up the 6 grub buff, killed Broken Blade when we did that, and then we're going to keep looking for kills on him and try and really put that Gnar behind, to the point that Zeus is going to be able to control side lanes. Faker is going to be able to
Another
get
charm hits once again. Mickey thought he was safe in his own jungle, but there is nowhere safe from T1, and this is the moment in the game, in game 1, where we saw T1 begin to explode it away from G2's grasp. You can see already 2,500 gold ahead. Now with the Rift Tower charging through mid, they're going to open up the map and make it so much more tricky for G2 to do anything. Charm wide there by Faker, but he's just creating space. The Solar Flare hits. Hansama has to burn the cleanse, and Zeus is on the flank. The counter-strike, Hansama flashes it. Rift Tower charge forward. Zona can jump across that wall and look for Hansama. Yike with a fear, only onto Zeus. They're looking for the damage. The Shockwave will find him. Hansama surviving up towards the top side for as long as he can in the face of Owner, but now he's down and Carrier's down alongside him. G2 find 2. They lose their mid-tier 1. Can they find anything more? I think the answer's no for now.
That darkness was...
Drake Capice means there's no soul point soon, but we see Caps pushing in the top lane and the TP behind. Zeus on the collapse, has the flash. Caps goes one way, Zeus goes the other. Now he tracks back, knowing that Caps is there. The Paranoia coming out as Mickey and Yike look to collapse. A flash away from the shockwave from Zeus is gorgeous. And once again, Zeus in this series puts G2 in their place.
T1 have been doing such a good job of collecting G2 members on these side lanes. Every time they step up, there's a TP behind. They're punishing the overextensions, and that's twice now on that top lane that the solo laners of G2 have been caught.
Yeah, that one was a little... He did just complete his Rage Blade, so they definitely have some really good looks here.
BB's just finished his Mega now, and he's gone in.
He still gets the Gnar into the wall. The backline, Gumayushi flashes away. The Shockwave, I think, maybe a little bit early there as Broken Blade is forced low. Spirit Rush forward by Faker as T1 begins to collapse, and Mickey's burst on the menu again. Faker with a Spirit Rush across the wall, looking for Yike. No curtain call connects, and G2 are able to walk away.
Great target selection from T1. They see that Broken Blade is about to go mini-Gnar, immediately engage onto him, and Gumayushi, the perfect timing on the flash. Caps doesn't get the shockwave onto him, and T1 are able to win out on the fight.
Just massive from Team 1, as you say.
Push in mid, catching out G2, and now G2 trying to move in mid, but they could get collapsed on from behind.
There's a pincer movement brewing here.
Teleport.
See the TP behind, that's
Faker.
Faker. Counter TP being used by Broken Blade. Curtain call coming in as the stopwatch is used. Dion onto the backline, jumps Gumayushi, a good shockwave as well onto Zeus. And now we see Hansama having to try and get away from this. Owner going in as he puts the damage down onto Caps. Owner flashing away, Zeus the same. The killer instinct from Hansama gets Zeus in response. Now Faker diving around the fight, a hook coming out. Broken Blade trying to get into the Mega Gnar. He'll jump on their heads. Gooba stopped them. Faker escaping. Carrier slammed into the wall. On the top side, Yike killed off Gumayushi. And G2 somehow find a fight.
Only Faker gets out alive. G2 are going to get some extra money with the tower mid, and Faker just barely does so. Broken Blade hunting for him, but he's not going to find the hidings.
Paranoia to get that little bit of extra vision. I love they're not using the shockwave, but immediately they do. Paranoia in, Faker down, Solar Flare onto the backline as well. We see Hansama falling for it. Mickey trying to get into this fight. Broken Blade on his way across as well. Carrier, Owner there as well with Gumayushi trying to get away. Doesn't have the flash. Owner doesn't. Carrier goes back in with the Zenith Blade. He's a sacrifice. A sacrificial lamb for G2. As there's 2 more on the board for them.
Keep the pace up. G2, they do not let you rest. Firing off play after play after play. You saw it earlier where even base check, or are they going to try and get control of the mid wave first.
Mickey looking for the hook, there's the charm. Deadly Flush going in, Ona looking for that back line, the solar player, his two, Paranoia coming out, Ona can't go in with the engage. Zeus now locked out, pops a stopwatch to buy himself a little bit of time, he's feared though, the shockwave hits onto Ona as he looks for the engage, goes in with the cease and desist, the Guardian Angel still sitting on Ona's shoulders, will bring him back to life. Broken Blade with a good double arm into the wall, Ona trying to get back in with that shield from the Vault Breaker, but he will fall. Faker can't escape Broken Blade. Gumayushi now trying to dance his way away, but the eyes are on Carrier for G2. They're looking for one more. Gumayushi will have the fleet, will have the move speed from this Jhin. Broken Blade chucks a house out, can't quite land it onto Guma's back. Caps with the dissonance, there's the slow from the red buff. They dodge the captive audience, and Guma's down 2. An ace for G2.
G2 are coming alive. This combo finally working out.
Yike is going to be able to go deep, and Caps has been able to stay so safe with his Zhonyas in the back line, just constantly providing so much threat. So we'll see here. You even have another stasis built by Hansama. It's just so durable for G2. They're just bullying them.
Solar Flare, Hansama dodges, only gets slowed. Broken Blade goes in with an arm only onto Ona. Zeus is TP'd in behind, and he dives onto Hansama immediately. And Hansama has a stopwatch, but he doesn't have much life left afterwards. He manages to get away with the killer instinct, but Mickey and Caps are only down. Ona face past the wall this time. Broken Blade left it to his own devices, and T1 clean him up. The flash in from Zeus with a counter-strike. Mickey trying to dredge line his way out of this one, but Faker's on the chase, as is Carrier. And Mickey, those hooks are sending you to Davy Jones's locker. Faker will take it. T1 will take the fight.
Mickey is gone 6 feet under, but G2 cannot fathom how T1 have got in behind them so consistently. It was a delay played on the TP. It's a delay take on Mickey because 50 seconds until Dragon will deny a lot of control to G2. But T1, again, these great teleport flags.
Dragon's soul is theirs to set up. Wait, Zeus has hiding once again. Look at him.
You can see Mickey's only just getting up towards where the red buff is. The Paranoia comes out. It's Guma that secures the Drake. They're looking up towards the top side. Zeus caught out with the Paranoia, gets the counter-strike, but there's the fear as well. The killer instinct coming in from Hansama as they look to catch out Zeus. The rest of T1 trying to come back to defend their top laner, but Zeus will be down before they can get there. G2 find one. They lost the Drake, they lost the soul, they go mid, Kobe, they can hear your call. G2 knocking on the doors of the Nexus now is T1 trying to defend.
Shockwave is still up and available for Caps. You have to be so careful as T1 as you try to defend this. How much do G2 want to try and take super minions on the top side as well?
It's so big. 3 inhibitors here. You're going to get... well, can they get 3?
Top just respawned as they were taking the second one, so it looks like it's only going to be 2. T1 able to hold on, not have those double supers pushing in every lane.
But Baron is still there, and if it's all inhibitors exposed, that could be the death knell for T1. G2 starting to move over. Zeus, 20-second death timer, no teleport.
It's so risky though, because you have no wards left for Mickey. He puts this one control ward down. All Ona needs to do is get into this pit, and he might be able to snipe this away. The curtain's open. An encore for Gumayushi. Ona gets into it! And he takes it! Ona will pay the ultimate price for his ability to steal the Baron. He keeps T1 in the game, and G2 just couldn't dot their I's and cross their T's.
They should be able to get another inhibitor for themselves, but T1, with that Baron buff, should be able to defend.
The tankiness the minions get from the Baron buff, they'll be spawning in a few seconds time for T1. There they are. They'll help them defend. Faker goes in. That charge. Shockwave. There's 2 knocked up. Zeus is already on the back line. The Narc coming out from Broken Blade as well. Zeus is doing so much work. Caps down. Hansama running for his life. Faker charms up Broken Blade. Zeus is just ripping through G2. Faker survives on the back line. Yike trying to do everything he can. The Paranoia will help him take out his enemy jungler. Hansama trying to survive here. Zeus has to call off the chase, but T1 once again hold on to the game.
Someone's going to chase him.
The big thing for G2 as well is T1 haven't left their base in about 3 minutes time, so there's no deep wards possible unless Carrier has snuck his way in behind somewhere. The hook's going to land onto Ona. They look for the engage. Ona now has to burn the flash. Zeus has his TP and he's going to match the supers pushing in the top side. G2 have control of the river right now. Solar player Hansama only slowed. But Caps is the one they dive into and immediately assassinate him. Caps is swimming with the fishes and Hansama is going to join him. T1 immediately pounce and G2 don't know what hit him.
T1 are forever clutch and G2 are finding out about it in the worst possible way. Zeus chasing down Broken Blade as T1 turn towards the outer Yike. The last one was stolen. Can you find revenge?
A vision in the pit. Gumayushi trying to keep him at bay. No paranoia for Yike, but does have the flash. Guma will take the blast cone. Yike, can you do it? We saw you steal one versus Han while alive. He puts the Dustbringer over the wall and immediately backs away. G2 have called, do not fight this fight. We can take the next, but the next will be versus down mid lane, 5 strong. As they have been for the last 2 years, looking to defend their world title.
A minute left on this Elder Dragon as well means that 2 more waves that you have to try and hold off. But I don't even know if you get that. Team 1 can just start to look at Nexus turrets off this wave.
It's got to be something miraculous. You've got a GA on Gumayushi, you've got Faker with the Spirit Rush, the curtain's open. I don't think G2 is getting a second act. The dive onto the backline by Yike, but immediately he is low. Cap's already assassinated on the back, and T1 are just ripping them to shreds. T1 absolutely melting G2 under their Nexus towers. History doesn't repeat itself, but it damn well rhymes. It's another Friday, it's another T1 win.
Y así es como termina este enfrentamiento en donde la escuadra de T1 terminó derrotando a la escuadra de G2 con un contundente 2-0. También gracias a esto, la escuadra de T1 ya está en los cuartos de final del Campeonato Mundial de League of Legends. Y una vez más demuestran que el campeón de Europa no es ni la sombra de T1, que actualmente son el 4.º lugar de la Liga de Corea. Nuevamente repito que no tengo nada en contra de G2, pero ya me parece una mamada ver cómo todo el tiempo me tengo que aguantar a fanboys de G2 diciendo que son mejores que T1 sin respetar al equipo de la dinastía, solo porque el equipo de FAKER no está en su mejor momento. Pero yo les recomiendo que se vayan a dormir, porque ese culo necesita descanso después de tremenda follada. Jaja, saludos. Sin nada más que decir, espero que este video les haya gustado. De ser así, los invito a que me dejen un pulgar arriba y un comentario, ya que con eso el algoritmo de YouTube nos trata bastante bonito. Y es más, si llegaste hasta este punto del video, te voy a invitar a que comentes pepino. ¿Por qué pepino? Porque fue lo que le metieron a G2. Como siempre, los invito a que compartan este video con todos sus amigos y suscríbete si es primera vez que ves uno de mis videos. Yo soy embeejay y nos vemos en la próxima. Adiós. Arriba la maldita tiguaneta, cabrón.